us racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're not quite 106 miles to Chicago, but the gas tanks are full, and it is time to shake off the bye week tonight as the Alexander PC ARCA West Series heads to Joliet, Illinois. Tonight we take on Chicagoland Speedway for race number 6 of the season. Got an abrasive track, a bumpy track, going to put on a great show for us. We're going to be bringing you every lap right here on V-Speed. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Daniel Cunningham. Alongside me in the broadcast booth here this evening, co-commentating and running the production truck is Bradley Cooper. And as always, those camera angles courtesy of the legendary Dougie Beard. And Bradley, what do you say we just go ahead and jump right into this? These drivers already have their qualifying runs finished up here this evening. And we have got the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award to hand out here tonight. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They've been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning, local and veteran certified. When they do well, they do good in the community. And for the second week in a row, that pole award is going to go to Peyton Hubbard in the 018 car. Going to start from P1 here this evening. To his outside on the front row is going to be the 85 car of Jake Ham here at Chicagoland this evening. Taking up row number 2 is going to be Christian Angel and Mark Whitley in 3rd and 4th. Starting in 5th, Thaddeus Friel Jr., highest qualifying driver out of our AM division tonight. Daniel Parks to his outside in 6th. Rolling off in 7th is going to be David Calvert, with Nicholas Myers in the 8th position. Rounding out your top 10 here this evening is going to be Sean Kaiser in 9th and Ronnie Morrison in 10th.
Trevor Dyer is going to start in the 11th spot with Barry Stevens for row number 6, and we have Brandon Wallace, who got a victory here before. Skylar Daly will start in 14th position. Corey Vaughn and J.R. Schomburg will start 15th, 16th, 17th to Paul Shaw, Jacob Ellingson with a luck change from the 18th position driver. Rounding out your top 20, it's Kevin Price, Tyler Clemens in the 311.
In 21st is Noah Hogarth, Dave Calvert in 22nd. 23rd, Dawson Delaney, Bobby Bender rolling off in the 24th position here this evening. In 25th is going to be Chuck Pegleg Phelps with Ashton Acero Nolan to his outside in 26th. 27th, Joshua Unger. 28th, Chris Bargetzi to his outside. In 29th is going to be Alan Bergen with Douglas Macedo in the 30th position. Rounding out the rest of the field here this evening is going to be Hayden Muir in 31st, Vernon Liebenthal in 32nd. 33rd is going to be Armando Melgosa with Brian Frauheiger in 34th. Rolling off in 35th is going to be Justin Klein with Billy Sigmund in the 36th position. And rounding out your field, a full 38 drivers, Brock Price in 37th and Joshua Thornton in 38th. And that is going to be your full starting grid here this evening. These drivers are ready to get back after it after the off week. They are already lined up, getting ready to hit that extreme scoring restart zone to get this race underway here this evening. Green flag already out in the air here at Chicagoland. We are underway for the ARCA West race here at Chicagoland. The field rolling down the back straightaway. You see tonight's race analysis there. 80 laps. Oh, we've got problems already. Let's hold that thought. That is the 41 car that is hard into the outside wall. That's Dave Calvert. Looked like the 441 of Chris Bargetzi was also involved. Oh, that is a lot of damage there. I think both of the Dave Calverts were involved. Dave Calvert and Dave Calvert Sr. both involved in that wreck as we queue up the V-Speed instant replay here. This all started right in the middle of the pack on the back straightaway. Oh, and that actually started with the 46 car there. Sean Kaiser gets into the 469 and hooks him right into Calvert in the 41.
And in good fashion, ARCA breaks there from the 90. Dave Calvert Sr. at the end of that ended up running into him. So I think maybe just trying to finish the 41 car off, make sure that he can get ahead of him in the points. They were right next to each other coming into this week.
Man, that's got to be a hell of a feeling when you ARCA break your own family member like that. Dave Calvert and Dave Calvert Sr. involved there in the 90 and the 41. So unfortunate set of circumstances here early. Of course, these drivers do have that fast repair, something we were actually just getting ready to touch on there as we took a look at the race analysis for tonight. Let's try this again, Bradley. 80 laps, 50-mile-an-hour pit road speed. They've got 4 sets of tires, 1 on the car, 3 in the pits, 2 green-white checker attempts. As always, they've got that fast repair, 65% fuel. Be looking at anywhere between 32 to 35 laps for a fuel run here this evening. And, just one other quick bit of housekeeping. It looked like the 43 of Brock Price actually had a meatball flag from that incident as well. So quite a few drivers that have already been involved in an incident here this evening and going to have to utilize that fast repair early on.
I almost made the comment. I refrained. I almost said something about a Chrysler 300, but I will let Logan Threlkeld do that.
Yeah, that might be the low-hanging fruit.
Is that too
there
soon?
For those? It's not too soon. We were memeing him afterwards. For those that may be watching at home and wondering what in the world we are talking about, one of V-Speed's own, Logan Threlkeld, Santa, that you see on here that will hopefully be back in the booth Friday night with me for the truck series, had a little bit of an accident today. He was a victim of a real-life ARCA break, we'll call it. So if you're part of Goat Locker, you know the culture around here is you never miss an opportunity to roast someone, even if it is something like that. We made sure that he was all right first. Like, it's one of those, you make sure that they're all right, then you laugh at them. So but yeah, anyway, quick recovery for you. Hopefully you're back up here Friday. But no, it's not too soon for that, Bradley.
No severance package, no insurance here at V-Speed. You can't get unemployment. Just want to make that clear. Public statement. Get that out of the way. Workman's comp. I don't know how you got injured at your PC, but it didn't happen here.
And I'm laughing out at the YouTube chat. Brandon Wallace in the field tonight. He's always watching while he's racing. Got the stream up. Commenting out there in the YouTube chat,
Christmas
but did Santa
year,
die? I don't know about
Christmas.
Santa, but Krampus is still going to be coming around. So
The sleigh is busted.
the sleigh might be out of commission.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty nasty accident, too. But he's all right, guys, so I'm sure he'll be back to his normal self, and you'll know that he's okay because I'm sure he'll be in your post-race livening up the Discord. That's what he's good known for.
He's good at bringing, we'll say, merriment or chaos, however you want to word it. But what do you say? What do you say we try this again? Early caution on lap number 1. Jake Ham, your leader. Peyton Hubbard to the outside, getting ready to hit that extreme scoring restart zone. We are back underway and green here at Chicagoland. Good jump there for Jake Ham in the 85. He's trying to pull Mark Whitley along into the second position. Whitley now in that number 2 spot. Peyton Hubbard falling back just a little bit from that P1 starting position.
So Ham takes over the top spot. That actually happened in that half lap where we made it to turn 3 and 4. But there you go. You've got Mark Whitley already on the attack, running that high line. Big momentum here out of 4. He's going to approach the lead in just a couple laps.
Yeah, Mark Whitley already looking to the outside. He has showed his prowess every single week this season that he is going to be one of the drivers to contend with, trying to utilize that momentum. Oh, it's the 08. Thaddeus Friel is around back behind them. Looks like he spins off the track. We are going to stay green, but he was running up in the top 5.
Oh, that's going to bring it out.
That is definitely going to bring it out. Trying to get back up on the track there and just triggering that caution as he was battling for the lead here with the 71 of Daniel Parks for the AM Division lead. And they're running side by side. Yeah, the 71 did push up, but it looked like there was still just a little bit of room there, and Friel was also pushing up on exit, and of course ends up getting into the wall pretty hard there. Let's take another look at it here. They were already starting the side draft here. It's going to be difficult to finish off some of these passes this evening.
Contact there in the 1 too.
Yeah, a little bit of door banging there, getting into turn number 1. This will give us a really good view of it here. Both of them were sliding up the track, but at that point, I think Friel would have been in the wall regardless. He was just so committed on that corner exit and carrying just a little bit too much speed for that high lane. And
hello.
Man, that almost turned out a lot worse for Thaddeus Friel there. We'll say that.
Yeah, let's back this up one more time and go on board. This is on board with Ronnie Morrison.
We're about to have a view here. And in Morrison's defense, you see a car down there like that, you don't really think they're going to be pulling up in front of you at the last second like that. But obviously, Friel trying to get it back rolling and trying to get the car pointed in the right direction. But yeah, that, and of course the caution's not out either. If you're Morrison, you can't just stop in the middle of the track while the green is still out. The caution wasn't out until he was almost firewall deep in the 08 car there. So that definitely could have ended a lot worse for all parties involved there. But we are under our second yellow of the night here this evening. And Bradley, what do you say while we got a moment here with this early caution, we go ahead and thank our title sponsor of the series that helps put these broadcasts on, and that is Alexander PCs. And they are a custom and gaming PC builder who has been building and modding systems since 2002. They are veteran-owned and operated family business, and all of the team members' support and production are U.S.-based. All desktop PCs come with an industry-best lifetime limited warranty and service guarantee. Work, play, conquer, Alexander PCs.
Well, I think right now, Daniel, we still have those pre-race jitters. Some of these guys are too focused on, okay, if I lose one spot, I'm not going to get it back. But we have 80 laps, all right? There's plenty of time to let that guy go. And it's just the experience of racing beside these guys for so long. I know sometimes the best course is to just let a guy go when they're outside. You might see him again in a couple of laps. There's no reason to push it, to side draft, to change your line just to maintain a spot, because inevitably you're going to burn the tires off this thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, especially at a track like Chicagoland, it's really abrasive. This place will eat tires up. It's not quite as bad as some of the other tracks that you see on the schedule. It's not like to the extent of like in Atlanta or Darlington, but this place definitely has its fair share of tire wear and tire usage. So you can definitely play that long game, but the flip side of that is if you're banking on we're going to keep having more cautions, you might not get that long run. So I agree with you. A little bit of patience goes a long way. I hope these drivers will get it sorted out here. But get ready to go back green. Mark Whitley taking the top side to have his teammate Christian Angel line up directly behind him on this restart. To hit the extreme scoring restart zone, green flag back out in the air. Those two teammates putting that plan to use, making it work really well here. It looks like they're both going to be able to clear for the top two spots and put Jake Ham back into the third position.
Look how quickly it single files out. A lot of drivers are looking to stay out now. 10 laps on the stint. Roughly 6 of those under green. I would say about 5.5 that we've ran up to speed. And the lap time's already going to fall off quickly. As we come around here, this won't be an official lap time. As you see a battle here across the start-finish line, almost 3 wide, 18 a Hubbard to the inside. Maybe a door touch there between him and the 85, but it's Mark Whitley, Christian Angel doing what they do best for the Harpoon team.
Yeah, they are in control right now. Here comes Jake Ellingson. He's looking to the inside of Peyton Hubbard right now as they head down the back straightaway. Ellingson on the move early here, trying to shake off some of that bad luck that has been plaguing him early on this season. And how about Daniel Parks? He's your current AM division leader. He is side by side with Jake Ellingson for 4th overall on the racetrack. He is putting together a really solid effort so far. And, we keep talking about when are we going to see a race winner that is an AM winner. Oh, Peyton Hubbard in the wall behind them. It's like he's able to keep it going, but that was a pretty substantial hit there for the 018 car. But yeah, we keep talking about when will one of these AM drivers win the overall race? And Daniel Parks right now certainly in a good spot, running 5th here early on.
But I think that's going to come with time. We will see it happen. But again, it goes back. You just saw the 18 brush the wall. He's pushing the car, and in my opinion, for the 18, there's really no reason to do that right now. Look at how much he's pushing the entry at 3 and 4. He's going to get to the inside of the 27. He's going to burn the right front off this thing. And the outside is so much faster, it's going to be really difficult to complete this pass. You had the momentum off 3 and 4, but where do you take it?
Yeah, it's really difficult to complete that move down on the bottom, like you mentioned, especially with the ARCA car being so momentum-based. You kind of have to try to generate that run, see if you can get to somebody's outside and set up a little bit of a side draft. But right now, the top 6 cars are all under a blanket together. Even Mark Whitley, Christian Angel up there, Jake Ham was to the outside of this group just a moment ago. These drivers are all right on top of one another and just absolutely going at it right now. So this is a really heated contest up here at the front. Is wrecking the back of the pack. The 25 of Josh Thornton is around, went airborne for just a moment there. Heavy damage for the 25 car, and that is going to put us back under the caution flag here. Thornton previously, before that incident, was actually the biggest mover of the race. And good night. That was, of course, after the wreck had already started and somebody came through and just absolutely cleaned him out there. Back this up just a little bit here. Yeah, 4 wide is a bold strategy. You've got the room to do it, but doesn't often work. And good night. I think that was the 469 that just said we're going to send him to the shadow realm here. And yeah, I think that's about the only way you can word that.
There's the 4 wide in front of you, and this is going to happen pretty quickly. So to be fair, you see it, and then it's in your lap. There's nowhere to go. You already set your corner up, and you've got cars behind you. We'll show this one more time. Looking off the back end, you've got the 43 at the back porch. Brock Price isn't going to react in time. So as soon as this happens, Brock Price is going to probably dodge this, just in time. No, he gets run on the backup. So, again, this is just not a lot of time to react to this.
No, there really isn't. Everything happening like that right in front of you. Just not a lot that you can do there. It definitely looks worse at first glance when you see that happen, but that is going to open up the floodgates for these drivers to hit pit lane. A lot of them for the first time here this evening. I think pretty much the entire field coming down pit lane here. This will put them in a spot where they can make it on one stop to the end of this race. We've probably had just enough green flag laps that you'll want to put those tires on here as well. So it looks like Jake Ham going to be the first one off of pit lane here. And that may have been I was going to say, that may have actually been 2 tires, though, because it looked like the right side of the car did come up in the air for him. But it definitely was not a 4-tire stop. There were 2 drivers that did elect to stay out. That was Josh Unger and Vernon Liebenthal that stayed out here. But yeah, let's take another quick look at that pit stop for the 85 car here. Definitely a little bit of a strategy play. Okay, yeah, I beg your pardon. You are correct. That is a fuel-only stop. I saw the front of the car shift when he went to go throttle up and take off, and I thought that was the car coming back down off the jack. But yeah, just a fuel-only stop there for the 85. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that either. I think maybe 2 tires if you're fighting a tight condition may work here, but yeah, I don't like the no tire call. I think he's gonna get pretty well freight trained here once we go back green and things start to sort out a little bit.
On top of that, you have another car, and I apologize if this isn't a pro class car, but Liebenthal stayed out. And he is being labeled right now. I have 3 entries here tonight on my overlays, and I'm not entirely sure for our class, but the 033 is being labeled as a pro driver. So if that's true, the 033 stayed out. So it really doesn't do Jake Ham any good to try to stay out here and get a lap led.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is it's certainly a strategy call. I mean, it may end up working for him near the end of the race if he does end up having an extra set of tires when nobody else does. But with a field this size, I mean, even if you do, it's just going to be so hard to make anything happen with it. We'll see how it works out. I have certainly been proven wrong my fair share of times on pit strategies before. Not really liking what I'm seeing out of the field here on this restart with such a huge gap in between cars here. This is that's Brian Frauheiger there, and that is going to cause a massive checkup if they do not tighten that up here. Getting ready to head back to the extreme scoring restart zone, and Christian Angel is saying, hey dude, it's time to go. Green flag is in the air. They're already 4 wide and wrecking right where the 0-3 was at. That is and oh man, Jake Ellingson absolutely destroyed from that incident. I mean, we talked about bad luck following him around here this season, and yeah, I think we pretty well called that one here, Bradley.
I'm gonna pin that one on the 03. I hate to always point fingers or blame anyone for anything, but he just didn't go.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. You hate to have that as a broadcaster to point a finger at someone, but I mean, riding on board here, you can see he doesn't go. There is a huge gap between him and the car in front of him, even before they get to that restart zone. And then he just doesn't launch. Christian Angel, one of the fastest drivers we've seen here this evening, he's basically pushing him, saying, hey, dude, let's go. Green flag's out. We got to get rolling, because he knows he's going to get run over if he doesn't. And sure enough, that is exactly what happened. And a lot of really fast cars get torn up in the process for that. And yeah, just not what you want to see here out of a restart. That was a very discombobulated restart from the word go there.
Well, and something else that happened, and this is where we were wrong maybe at the moment of this, but we're going to go through 3 and 4 and watch what happens. The 033 and the 85 all within 1 corner. Didn't even get really to turn 1 before this happened. You're going to see in the background there with the bumper tag. That gap on the restart, it's almost a car length, over a car length. And guess who else didn't go?
Yeah, and to be fair, the control car is the 51 there. The 51 of Joshua Unger, he was the control car on that restart. So it looked like maybe that outside lane was trying to anticipate when he was going to go, and Unger waited until the iRacing green came out, which is his prerogative to do so. And yeah, I mean, normally whenever you have these restarts, the leader can go whenever they want in that restart zone. So normally you don't wait until the last second. You want to try to jump it, give yourself a little bit of an advantage. But yeah, maybe that's what some of these other guys were anticipating. And then you go, you stop, it causes a checkup. That certainly doesn't help the cause either. But another caution here this evening, we should be getting the one to green this time by, I believe. See if the lights go out on the iRacing pace car, and indeed they do. So while we have a moment, while we're pacing here, I want to go ahead and shout out another one of our league sponsors. This will be in the GLR web store. So you can support the sport and mission with Goat Locker Racing. At glrwebstore.com, you'll find quality racing apparel, hats, and gear, and every purchase supports veterans, active military, and first responders. Your order also helps fuel our mission and fight back against mental health challenges facing our community. Great gear, real purpose. Visit glrwebstore.com. And, you know, I don't have a webcam on tonight because I have a face that's made for radio, so y'all just have to take my word for it. But I've got my GLR hoodie on tonight. This is one of the most comfortable hoodies that I think I've ever had. So if you're looking for one, I highly recommend it to head over there and check out what they've got. But getting ready to go back green here. Looks like the 0-3 of Brian Frauheiger was given an EOL for that last incident, which is why you saw that kind of stack up there on the back straightaway just a moment ago, with the field getting around him and navigating that. But get ready to go back green, heading to the extreme scoring restart zone. Joshua Unger still the control car. Green flag is out. We are back underway here. We've got Chris Bargetzi, Josh Unger. What about Noah Hogard up there in the top three? And they are looking three wide. That is Mark Whitley to the bottom. The top five all under a blanket right now. What a power move to the inside for the 75. Jake Ham trying to follow him. They've got Brandon Wallace in tow behind them as well.
Well, and you've got the 51 in the middle of all this of Unger, and he has older tires. We're going to go four wide. Will we make it out of the other side?
Oh, I don't know how they're going to make it through that
again.
4 wide. They're still 4 wide. Oh, my God, they're wrecking. They just ain't hit nothing, but now they're wrecking. The 46 of Sean Kaiser is around. Big damage to the front of his car, and we are under caution here at Chicagoland. I think Stevie Wonder could have seen that one coming with the way that they were racing right there, Bradley. That was not a pretty restart there as we ride on board here and take another look at this one. We saw 4 wide a couple of times. Well, third time was the charm here. And yeah, just nowhere to go when you're following in behind that. I mean, they basically got a track blocker there with the way that they were turned sideways. Take another look from the blimp cam here. That was 4 wide. Brandon Wallace, Josh Unger, Noah Hogard. That sends Daniel Parks up the track. Couldn't tell who that was that he slid up in front of there after he had contact made with him. I believe that was the 79 of Christian Angel again to his outside in that black and red machine. You see Peyton Hubbard there trying to work his way back up through the field. And man, Hubbard with a big wreck dodge there in that 018 car. That happened right in front of him, and I thought maybe he might have gotten a piece of it, but it looks like, let's take a look on board with him here, because he was right in the eye of the storm with this. And he's seeing everything happening, and I mean, sometimes the seas just part for you and you're in the right place at the right time, and he is able to miss all of the carnage there and continue on. But folks, while we've got a moment here, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here with you at Chicagoland for the remainder of the coverage.
superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Well, welcome back to Chicagoland. Thank you to those great league sponsors that we have helping to put on the shows and make everything happen here at Goat Locker. Getting ready to go back green here on lap number 27. Field heading into that extreme scoring restart zone. Mark Whitley, Jake Ham, your front row. Green flag back out in the air. Good jump there for Mark Whitley. He's going to easily clear before they even get to the start-finish line. Tried to bring that 64 of Dyer along with him as well. They are side by side for that second position. Look at Noah Hogard up there, the 158. He's throwing his hat in the ring, trying to get up into the top three here. And not only that, but he is your AM division leader right now.
Chomber the closest one in the 113, and it's about a full second back. Fifth on the track, but gaining positions. We've got some different strategies out here in the top five. Couple drivers with fuel only. Jake Ham has held on a lot longer than I thought he would. We've also only had about a total of 1.5 miles of green flag racing in these last 6 laps. So I think inevitably the 85 is going to lose some ground here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that he has held on better than what either of us anticipated, but the quick cautions definitely helping his cause with that as well. So we'll see how he hangs on here once we do get some green flag laps in. This AM battle is getting ready to heat up for the lead here. Noah Hogard has it. Chomber wants it. They are side by side back behind them. Looking 3 wide there for a moment between Hubbard, Christian Angel, and Brandon Wallace. But still, that battle for the AM division lead is heating up right now.
So I'm trying to decide where to put the camera and when. Hogar holding on to the bottom 113 as Chomber has caught up to him. Just a couple of tenths separating them as they come across the line. And wow, what a block down to the bottom of the racetrack. Jake Ham knew that there was momentum from the 158 and chose to pinch there. That almost could have been bad.
That could have been. Now, one thing that they do talk about in Goat Locker, you can go below that white line, cut the apron on the straightaway, but the cars above you are not obligated to let you back in line. Jake Ham utilizing that rule there to his advantage, was able to pinch Noah Hogard down. That is also going to allow Chomber to get by for that AM division lead. So put the 113 now at the top of the pylon on the AM side. And yeah, Jake Ham still doing a nice job holding position up there. Currently running in second overall as they come up on a lap car here. Looks like that is Dave Calvert that they are coming up on. Chomber now, he's putting the pressure on Jake Ham for second overall in the race here as well.
And you asked the question earlier, based off the pace, we have the 03 at the bottom of the racetrack. Wow. That scared me, and I wasn't even driving.
Yeah, that could have been big there. I mean, he was down on the apron trying to stay out of everyone's way, but a massive pace difference there. Believes the 03 does have some damage. Yellow flag is back out though. Looks like the 96 of Bobby Bender is around. I see the 311 has some damage here as well. But Bobby Bender sitting sideways there, and it looks like the 51 of Joshua Unger, who was up there leading earlier in the race, involved in that as well. Let's take a look on the V-Speed instant replay. think this started a little farther up here where Bradley, producer, already doing the great camera work here. Going 3 wide again. We've seen it work out a few times already this evening, so let's give it another shot. And contact there with the 311. I couldn't tell who that was in the middle there, but
62, I think, was originally.
Was that the 62 of Doug Macedo that was in the center there?
71 went low, 62 pushed up the racetrack. I don't think he so much pushed. I think it just kind of met the same line. I think Doug really pushed up the racetrack too much there, but the 96 trying to dodge it. And that brings out our 6th caution of the evening. Not even halfway through this thing yet.
Yeah, 6 cautions in 34 laps. Just kind of tells the tale of where we've been here so far. As you can see, a bit of a mixed bag of strategies here. Jake Ham coming down pit road. Going to have to think he will elect to take tires since he did not on that first stop of the race. It's going to bring Noah Hogard. You see Dyer, Calvert, Ellingson, Delaney, and Friel going to follow him down as well. See a few cars sitting on pit road that look more like the modifieds right now with that front end damage. But yeah, I think we'll see Jake Ham take advantage here, put 4 tires on that car, and see if he can make up some of that track position, because he was already starting to bleed a little bit of ground there, even before that caution came out. And, you know, he's really not going to come out too bad out of this. Just looking at our timing and scoring right now, he's going to be in 14th overall. I mean, he does have 18-lap fresher tires. Granted, a lot of those are caution laps, but still, he's going to have a little bit of a tire advantage and not as far back in the field as I would have anticipated.
We had that stint of about 11, 12 laps. You know, the mix of cautions and green flag. We had about a second of fall off on these tires already. That's a lot of fall off really quickly. If you look at the weather, it's not really slick out here, but 103 degrees, that's a pretty hot track, and it is going to chew these tires up pretty quickly. If we were to go green for at least 10, 15 laps, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these guys are looking to save an extra tire set for the end of this race. We know that we've had a lot of cautions, but it seems pretty racy out here tonight, Daniel. Guys are taking the opportunities that are presented to them, and wide that we've seen it so much. I don't know that it's so much that these guys don't know what to do with the car. It's just that they have that kind of false sense of confidence that this car is going to be okay every single lap, and that's just not the case.
Yeah, the ARCA car can certainly provide that at times where, you know, you feel like you've got a lot of grip. You feel like you can make more daring moves because the car does feel pretty planted into the racetrack for the most part. But then all it takes is just one opportunity where it just pushes up tight. You know, sometimes you see it like in the next gen where it'll just randomly snap loose on you. This car is kind of the opposite. It'll just randomly push tight when you haven't really experienced that before. Yeah. Especially with the dirty air, just like you said, it can be a nightmare in this car sometimes. So I think that may be what some of these drivers are fighting against here this evening, but we'll give it another go here, just shy of halfway. Mark Whitley, your race leader. Schomburg, too, is outside on that front row as they head into the extreme scoring restart zone. Green flag in the air. See, I believe that is the 42 of Ashton Acero Nolan that's blinking up on the high side there, causing a little bit of a stack up on that top group, but everybody able to get going, and the teammates, Whitley and Angel, they clear through for the first 2 spots here. They've got this race under control, but the AM division leader now right behind them.
25 in the background back here, Joshua Thornton. Made a quick move there to the outside of the 62 of Doug Macedo. Jake Ellingson trying to recover his positions. I saw him aggressive on the restart. He's going to door touch with the 85. They're going to door touch again.
A little bit of door banging there between those drivers. Some of these drivers that Jake Ham is racing around, they do not have a fast repair. We've seen Ellingson have to use his. We've seen a bunch of drivers really have to use him. Joshua Thornton was another one that had some pretty heavy damage earlier. Jake Ham, he can just kind of throw caution to the wind right now if he really wants to. He's still got his in his back pocket to utilize. And right now, he is making some moves. putting those fresher tires to work. I say that overall, he's lost 2 spots from where he initially started, but he had actually fallen further than that just with a checkup on that initial restart there. So he is starting to gain some of those positions back, but I think the biggest thing he's going to be fighting against is just where do you go? The high side is definitely the easier side to pass, but when they're running 3 wide like this in front of you, you just don't have anywhere to utilize the speed.
I think over time, there was a lot of caution laps on those tires. And there's only a couple heat cycles on these guys in front of them, so I think it'll take a little while for those tires to heat back up, and then they'll feel that wear again. As they're going 3 wide right in front of Cam, he put himself in the hornet's nest back here. A lot of different strategies, a lot of different racing lines.
Yeah, it's definitely a bold strategy. I mean, if it works out for him with having that tire advantage, if he's able to get back up to the front, it's going to make him look like a genius, but man, he is going to have to work to be able to get back up there. Speaking of trying to work his way back up through the field, Peyton Hubbard in that 018 car started on pole, fell back through the field just a little bit. Contact there with J.R. Schomburg, your AM division leader. They were door banging down the back straightaway, but Hubbard is on the comeback trail here, trying to get his way back into a podium spot, puts a little bit of a slider there on Schomburg, and Schomburg looks like he's trying to side draft back. He's not going to go quietly here.
If I'm the 113 right now, I might just let the 18 go. I don't see the reason to race him this hard. You have the AM lead. You're going to put yourself in a bad spot here very soon. Almost ran out of racetrack again out of turn 2. And by doing this, you're kind of holding yourself up. Watching Sean Kaser and Brandon Wallace reel you in. Guess who's just behind that? Daniel Parks. That's second in AM class right now, and he's catching up.
Yeah, I'm with you. You kind of got to know who you're racing around, where your closest division competition is. Yeah, that was the 42 of Acero Nolan and the 71 of Daniel Parks getting together there, but they both hang on to it. Jake Ellingson door banging down the back straightaway there with the 25 of Thornton. Both of them hang on to it, keep it pointed in the right direction. We're going to have to take a look here on the V-Speed instant replay. This is looking back at Ellingson and Thornton, the 25 and 27. And yeah, they make a little bit of contact there. Maybe a little bit more door rub going down the straightaway. Maybe somebody feeling that they could have been given just a touch more room
do it
on
again
that.
Right here. Jeez, Ellingson.
Yeah, this battle ain't over yet.
There's a cloud looming over the 27 car. He's in every situation that happens on this racetrack every single week. He's either within arm's reach of it or he's in it.
Yeah, he is definitely having one of those black cloud kind of seasons right now where it just seems like it is following you around. You just can't shake it. And I've been there. It is no fun, and it just starts to compound week after week. But, you know, trying to get on the comeback trail right now. And that 99 car up there in P4, Brandon Wallace starting to make some ground up through the pack. He's got Sean Kaiser there with him. Kaiser only has 20 laps since his last pit compared to 29 for the rest of the field. Looks like that was just a pop off on fuel though. And see Brandon Wallace here, got his driver cam on, and Wallace putting in a good effort here this evening. I do indeed. We'll just oh, I love Goat Locker Racing.
Brandon,
That's all
I love you,
say.
buddy. I just want you to go back and see that later.
Oh, good night. Anyway, it seems like Brandon has a little extra motivation running up there in the top 5 right now, but that may be short-lived here because Dave Calbert in the 41 running second in the AM division. He's looking for a position here. They were thinking about 3 wide. Calbert in the 41 put a little bit of a bumper to the 46 of Kaiser there, but everybody able to get through it, and everybody coming out clean out of that, relatively speaking. But just behind this battle, Jake Ham, He is up to 9th overall, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Bradley, that the longer they get into this run, the more that tire advantage for the 85 is going to show through. He is starting to put down some really fast laps and pick up a lot of spots here.
And every lap that ticks away is in a better and better situation. This is the first time we've had a long green flag stint since the race began. 14 laps now. We went green. And Jake Ham is looking like Superman, passing him one at a time.
Yeah, Jake Ham putting down some really fast laps right now, running even lap times with the leader of the race right now. But considering the hornet's nest that he's racing in, that is no small feat with dealing with the dirty air, trying to navigate around these other cars. Finally gets up to the top lane where he can maybe try to start making some moves. He's thinking about 3 wide here. Doesn't quite have the gap to pull down and make it happen. So right now he's just kind of riding in behind the 99, trying to find as much clean air as he can for the front of that car. But I think if I was him, I'd be trying to push some of these other guys past, like you see him do it with the 99 here, and then try to utilize that to clear some drivers and then just make another one at a time move. But they're 3 wide behind him. This battle between Hubbard and Schauber is still going. Schauber actually just got into the wall right there, right in front of this battle for position. Jake Ham now able to clear through up into 4th in division, 5th overall in the race. But these two guys, Peyton Hubbard and J.R. Schauber, we've watched their battle a few times here this evening, and they are still going at it. They are still trading blows back and forth here.
While it looks single filed out coming off of turn 4, as soon as they dive into the corner, it's back to side by side, and anybody makes a mistake. You see the 113 just made one, brushes up into the outside wall, dirty air from the 18 of Hubbard, and that groups everybody back up, scatters the 85 to the bottom of the racetrack. Jake Ham looking to gain 2 or 3 spots.
Yeah, Jake Ham actually is going to lose a couple of spots out of this. He was trying to make a move on J.R. Schauber there, wasn't able to complete it, as now they're coming up on a damaged car here. That is Skylar Daly in the 22, and that is going to jumble things up even more.
And avoid him okay. He did a good job keeping it up there on the high line. That's the modified car you were talking about earlier. But Skylar Daly coming into this race had the points lead. We had our, I believe, 5th or 6th points change for the lead in the AM Class West. And that's probably going to lead us to another one because he is not having a good night. He's 15th in the AM Class right now, 27th overall on the racetrack. He's not had a good evening.
Yeah, definitely not the evening he was hoping for. Does have those 2 wins on the season in the AM division, so he does have that to fall back on as far as playoffs go. But, you know, something that's getting ready to happen here that if you would have told me that we were going to see this earlier, I'd have probably called you a liar. We are seeing green flag pit stops. The leaders right now, Mark Whitley, Christian Angel, are 38 laps on this stint, so they're going to have to come down pit road here at any time. You see Peyton Hubbard, Sean Kaiser, J.R. Schauber, they've all hit pit lane. They will be able to make it to the end from here with making this pit stop, and everybody is still going to have 1 stop left. But now if you're somebody like Jake Ham, Dave Calvert, Dawson Delaney, currently running 7th overall, even Thaddeus Friel running 9th overall, these guys are only 20 laps in on fuel right now. They can stretch it about another 15 laps or so if they so choose, maybe try to catch a caution and put a lot of the field a lap down here. Oh man, you know what? I think I got a new favorite driver in the field. I know we ain't supposed to have favorites here in the commentary booth, but when somebody shows up with a mustache like that, got the sunglasses on, wearing the Dale Intimidator hat, man, that's just certified badass right there is what that is. Yeah, shout out to Thaddeus Friel. I mean, when you can even commit to the mustache game for it, that is dedication right there. must have the broadcast stuff listened to it.
Yeah.
It's been a good night for driver cams here in the Alexander PC ARCA West Series, as Jake Ham is now going to assume the race lead. The 85 playing the strategy, and I questioned it earlier, but right now he is looking he's looking good with this strategy. If he catches one caution, which we've seen plenty of them here this evening, he's going to have a lot of the field a lap down. I mean, right now, with Brandon Wallace currently on the pit lane, there are only 2 other AM drivers that are on the lead lap. So if we do catch a caution, he's going to have fresher tires than most of the field and track position. That could be the ultimate chess move here if this works out in his favor.
Albert has the lead in the 41, and remember the beginning of this race, lap 1, we had a problem down the backstretch where the 41 got sent into the air, and look at his recovery back to the front. Same situation I think that Jake Ham is in. If they stay and stretch this run out like you were mentioning, Daniel, I think we'll go all the way to the front. We'll be in a better situation.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, how long they decide to stretch this out as well. I mean, especially for somebody like Jake Ham, he's not down a set of tires. We don't know if Calvert took a set on that first stop when he got wrecked, if it was just damage repair or what the case was with that. So, but Jake Ham, we know that he still has that extra set in reserve, that he doesn't have to worry about running out of tires at this point. So be interesting to see how that portion of it plays out. But what do you say while we have a quick moment here, Bradley? Let's go ahead and thank another one of our league sponsors. I want to give a shout out to Zach Graphics. And Zach Graphics is a family-owned independent business with emphasis on Christian values, honesty, and commitment, located in Brownsburg, Indiana. Their service policy means treating each customer with the individual attention that they deserve. Contact them today at ZachGraphics.com. Zach Graphics, we can put your design on almost anything. We appreciate their support here at Goatwalker.
Look at this. This is fresh tires, I would say.
Yeah, I think this is putting fresh tires to good use here, as they are 3 wide. That is Christian Angel down on the inside trying to make some moves. We've seen him be one of the fastest cars here throughout the duration of this race this evening, making almost a little bit of contact there with the 113 of Schaumburg. That's where him and Peyton Hubbard in that 018, they cannot get away from each other here this evening. They are pretty much attached at the hip. But Christian Angel trying to make some ground up through the pack here. And Jake Ham actually stretching that lead out now, even over Dyer, up almost at 5 seconds now for the race leader. Let's take a look on board here with Daniel Parks in the 71, currently running 13th overall here in the race this evening. And he's been another driver that's had himself up there running in top 5 overall. He's had the AM division lead a few times. Curious to see where he shakes out in all of this pit cycle strategy. But still, it's been a really solid run for the 71 here this evening.
This is where the aggression we saw at the beginning of this race, this is where it shines. This is where you should absolutely push the car to its limit and take every opportunity you can see.
Completely agree with you. We are getting down to the end of this race. Just under 15 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Still a lot to be decided. Mark Whitley now has raced his way back onto the lead lap, albeit 27 seconds behind Jake Ham. So I think Jake Ham he's basically playing the long game right now. He knows he's got to catch a caution for this strategy to work out. Mark Whitley is running about 3 to 4 tenths a lap faster than Ham is right now. So when he pits,
really
when Jake Ham pits, that is, he's still gonna be behind Mark Whitley. Then the question is just gonna be, is he gonna be able to chase Whitley back down with a pretty substantial tire advantage? Or even if you're Jake Ham, do you think about doing a 2-tire stop here to maybe mitigate some of that time lost with the fresher tires? And there's a lot of options that Jake Ham has right now.
Yeah, I don't think that he wins that race overall, but definitely would gain a top 3. I could see that happening for the podium finish if he took 2 tires. There's enough gap from Mark Whitley, and then you've got a car pinned a lap down right now, racing side by side with Christian Angel as Peyton Hubbard. They're trapped behind Schomburg in the 113. So these guys have been racing almost the entirety of this green flag run. I think we've seen the 113, the 18, and the 79 going back and forth.
Yeah, these guys, I tell you, 1 and 2 mindsets are either having the time of their life out there just racing the wheels off of these things right now, or saying, for the love of God, get me away from this guy, I'm tired of racing. It's one or the other, because they have been attached to one another pretty much the entirety of the second half of this race. But they've been putting on a good show, a lot for us to talk about up here, that is for sure, as looks like Jake Ham has actually made his way down pit road. So that is going to give the lead back over to Mark Whitley. And Whitley is going to have a pretty substantial advantage here as we get down inside of 10 to go. And a little bit of contact further back. It was between the 71 of Daniel Parks and the 84, but everybody keeping it clean for now. That almost played out exactly like Jake Ham needed it to have tires and get everything bunched back up together.
Jake Ham did take 2 tires on that stop, 9.2 in the box. He got just enough fuel to make it to the end of this race, but 2 tires, don't know that it's going to be enough. But you see here, he does have a shot at passing the 18 car. He does have a chance to get a podium out of this.
Yeah, I think he could definitely get to P2. He's got second and third right there in front of him. It's just a matter of how well will those 2 tires hold on. It might actually help the car rotate a little bit better. That's a big move, though, out of the 85, but he makes it work. Wow. I don't know how he was able to fit through there and make that happen.
I'll give a handshake to Christian Angel for that save, because he should have probably face planted the wall there.
Yeah, that was a heck of a save out of Christian Angel there as well. I mean, Jake Ham was coming with a full head of steam there, had to make a way through somehow, gets his way through, and now he's actually going to get around Schomburg to put himself back up to second overall in the race.
We're going to get our answer here.
He's 6.7 seconds back. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get there.
3/10 that lap, but it was in traffic, Daniel. Let's see what he gets on this one where he's got a clean track in front of him.
Yeah, this is the one that I'm going to be curious to see. He's going to need to put down an absolute heater here, and it's not going to matter because the caution is out, so hold that thought. The 71 of Daniel Parks, the 42 of Ashton Acero Nolan are involved in an incident here, and we are under the caution flag. We are going to have a shootout to the end of this one. Cue this up on the V-Speed instant replay here. To get a view of what happened, you can see the 42 of Acero Nolan crab walking down the back straightaway. This has been building for a few laps. These drivers have been going at it over here, and just contact between the 2 of them there. Also collects, I believe that's the 969 car as well. Both Parks and Acero Nolan with big damage out of that. And yeah, I mean, from the original angle, it looked like maybe the 71 came down the track just a bit there and just gets down into the 42, and that sets off the incident from there.
So from a left angle, the 42 is going to look to the inside. Nolan had the run there across the triangles.
The 42 moves up just ever so slightly, but the 71 definitely moved down more than the 42 moved up. So that's
about where you get to the throttle. And I don't know about you, Daniel, but I like to drive off of the right rear. So when you do that, you have to give wheel back to it, right? Otherwise, it's going to suck it down to the bottom of the racetrack. And that's fine if no one's here inside. But if you've got a car down there pinched already, and he does the same thing and gives wheel back to it, he's going to pretty much hold that line, and you're going to pull right down in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I am of the same mindset that you are as far as that goes. So, unfortunate because Parks had been having a really solid run here this evening. I mean, we had just talked about him not long ago, having speed up there in the top 5 earlier in the race. This is going to set up an interesting decision, though, for the drivers up at the front of the field. And I would have to think that we're going to see a lot of these leaders come down pit lane. And actually, I beg your pardon. So they had already gotten the pit.
Yeah.
The pit lane had already been open. So your top 11 drivers stayed out on this caution. Your first driver out is Christian Angel and Mark Whitley. But yeah, this is going to be a shootout to the end. I like where Jake Ham is sitting right now.
Yeah. Those 2 tires, he's only got about 6 laps on the stint. So he definitely has the speed to carry this to the end. And there's not a lot of laps left. So you're looking at Christian Angel and Mark Whitley, who have been the class of the field here tonight in the pro class. They're buried 10 cars deep now. This is plenty of cushion for Jake Ham to run away with this race. He has Trevor Dyer and Corey Vaughn to worry about here. But for Whitley and Angel, it's can we salvage a top 5 out of this?
Yep, I completely agree. It is going to set up for a good one. We are going to have 5 laps to go. And, another important question here. Do you think we've seen the last caution of the evening is another thing to look at.
Don't ask me that.
But, Mark Whitley is only 6th in line on the outside. I mean, if he can get a good restart here, make a big move over in 1 and 2, he is certainly still not out of this. I like where he's restarting a lot more than Christian Angel. Angel being down on that inside lane, he's just not going to have the options when we go back green here, I don't think. But field in the extreme scoring restart zone. We are back underway. It's going to be a 5-lap shootout to the end. Jake Ham already jumps out to the lead, already cleared through to the lead. Noah Hogard in the 2nd position. He is your AM division leader right now, battling with Dyer in the 64 for 2nd overall. He doesn't need the position for the lead here. As we got one spinning in the back, it's Peyton Hubbard in the 018, but he's off track. We are going to stay green here. So we're inside 5 to go.
The other factor that I didn't talk about, the 64 has 4 fresh ones compared to the 2 tires that Jake Ham took. That time by Trevor Dyer, about half a tenth faster. That's the difference there. But the dirty air, that's the factor. That's the key factor. If you can aero block here. If you're in the 85, you're going to do everything you can to take the line away from the 64.
Yeah, if you are Jake Ham here, you are probably looking out the mirror just as much as you are looking out the windshield right now, maybe even more so. Jake Ham going to go down all the way to the grass, trying to make it as short as possible, but Dyer with a huge head of steam down the straightaway, utilizes the draft, looking to the inside of the 85. Not going to quite have the momentum. He slides up, almost contact between the 2, but Jake Ham able to hold the lead.
Jake Ham gave him the inside. He knew he could drive off at 2 and maintain that position. 64 is going to try the high line again.
Oh, we've got a yellow out on the track just as this battle was starting to heat up. And that is going to get us into an overtime green-white checker situation. As you can see, I believe that is the 469 that is stopped on track right there.
51 car, I'm not sure what happened there. This happened way ahead of all of this.
Yeah, that's a really peculiar incident here. Let's keep an eye on the 51. Yeah. Oh yeah, gets squeezed up into the wall. Right front is just absolutely broken. And then that's where the contact occurs after that. And somebody lost the entire nose off their car. I believe it's the 78 of Armando Melgosa. Loses the nose of his machine as they head through there. Let's take a look on board, and yeah, if you're him, you're just thinking that 51 is going to stay up on the top of the track. Comes down in front, and to that defense, we don't know just how broken Josh Unger's car was, how much control he really had over the steering or anything of that nature. but you know, that that is still an unfortunate circumstance.
It's usually easier said than done, especially when you hit the wall and trying to pull it off of there. Sometimes you put too much wheel into it and it peels off all at once. I mean, these ARCA cars are really bad, especially when you get stuck to the wall, about getting glued to it, and you almost have to crank the wheel 90 degrees in the opposite direction to get it to come off of there. And once you do that, you're steering towards the center of the track.
Yeah, absolutely. So while we've got a moment here under caution, we do have one more league sponsor to thank here this evening, and that is MK Fire Designs. Want to make sure we give them a shout out as well. And at MK Fire Designs, we believe every hero's story deserves to be etched in wood. From the thin red line to every branch of our military, we craft custom handcrafted flags that honor service, sacrifice, and pride. Honor your sacrifice today at mkfiredesigns.com. Every flag has a story. What is yours? Appreciate all of their support here. And, you know, Bradley, something that we talked about earlier in the broadcast that I'm seeing that just came up in one of our chats here is, when will we have the first overall race winner from the AM division? Well, out in ARCA East tonight, don't have a broadcast for it, but Charles Abert, your first ever overall race winner from the AM division over in the east side tonight. So congrats to him on that. Want to make sure we give him a shout out. We'll see once the coverage finishes up here with our post-race interviews, we'll see if we can maybe get him in here to still get a word with him, as well as your pro side winner over there in the east as well. But that answers the question, Bradley.
Tonight was the night. Tonight was the night, and I'm watching here with Thaddeus Friel leading the AM division here on ARCA West. Not saying he has a chance to win it overall, but he definitely has a shot to win his class. In the 08 for the up and down day he's been having, I want to see some emotional out of Dale. A little emotion out of Dale would be great, because he's been pretty locked in all.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out here for him. See if Dale can bring it home and get that win here, either overall or for the AM division. Getting ready to go back green here, field heading into that extreme scoring restart zone. Is this the only green-white checker we will see here this evening? Green flag is back in the air. Jake Ham, a really good launch here. That is going to clear him through to the lead. Dyer in second. We talked about Dyer has the 4 fresh tires versus just the 2 for Jake Ham. But look at Mark Whitley. He's already back up into 4th overall. Does he have enough time to get up there for the lead?
White flag's going to come out this time by if we can make it out of this corner. A little door touch
side
here.
By side.
Moving them up the racetrack for the lead.
Side by side, looks like we'll get back around for the white flag presented by Glove Station.
3
Quality
wide.
gloves and protected gear to get you to the finish line. They were thinking 4 wide. They are 4 wide. Heading down into turn number 1. They somehow funnel back around and get back to 2 wide. Here comes Whitley on the outside. He's got the momentum. Contact in the back of the field. We're racing back to the checkered flag. At the front of the field, it's Whitley and Dyer racing side by side. Jake Ham with the bonsai move down to the bottom. He clears both of them. The 85 back to the line. He's going to win in Chicagoland. How did he even make that move stick to get back there? Wow, what a move. Thaddeus Friel Jr. Dale has done it. He's your AMP side winner here this evening. Wow, what a last lap and what a shootout on that restart we just saw there, Bradley. Bradley, I'm not sure if we can if we can queue up that replay of that last set of turns before we go to our last commercial break here. But man, what a just absolute whale of a final lap there. It's Jake Ham burning it down on a well-earned victory. Thaddeus Friel burning it down here as well. Another well-earned victory for him also. I am just, man, I'm just in shock of what we saw there at the end of that one. Let's go back and watch this final lap here. This is coming to the white flag. Jake Ham and the 64 Dyer, they are banging doors coming back to the line. We saw the 4 wide here. That is not something you see very often, although we've seen it about 4 or 5 times here tonight. First time it's really worked halfway decent, though. Let's watch this move that Jake Ham makes here through turns 3 and 4. He drives it to the bottom, and oh my God, he just absolutely sent it in there. Somehow makes it stick. I mean, the contact between the 64 and the 74 definitely helped the cause, but I mean, I did not think that he had any chance at all of making that move stick.
And for the AM class lead, there's a look at the battle. The 08 had actually fallen back to almost 3rd in the AM class. He's going to get a good drive off here. Follow Mark Whitley, who goes 3 wide across the start-finish line. You see a little contact there between him and Calvert. But then to the outside of the 158, they're 3 wide. Almost 4 wide there with the pro class on the outside. They squeeze, they pinch. 08's going to hit the wall coming out of turn 2. 158 gives him a tag, knows he has to lift, and it's set sail. But here comes Dawson Delaney into 3. He's going to get the nose advantage on the inside. It's not enough.
Yeah, and just what a drive off the corner exit there. And shout out to Delaney in the 82. I mean, he could have ran Thaddeus Friel up the track, could have door banged him, could have got dirty with it, races it clean back to the line, and just an absolute finish. And Bradley, I didn't even catch this at first when they hauled it off into turn number 1 on the white flag lap. We had 3 wide for the lead of both divisions simultaneously. That 4 wide, it was, the 4 wide, what it ended up being, but it was 3 wide for the pro division lead, and then directly behind them, 3 wide for the AM division lead. So, I mean, just does not fail to disappoint. And what a finish that we saw here. But we're going to go ahead and take one final commercial break. Be right back with you to go over full race results as well as hear from our pro and AM division winners. Stick around. We'll be right back with you.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Well, welcome back to Chicagoland Speedway. I'm going to go ahead and give you your full race rundown here for the West Side, so that way you can see where your favorite driver finished here this evening, as well as get a word from our pro and AM winners, both here and on the East Division race as well. Starting with the pro results, Jake Ham coming home in P1 this evening in just an absolute thriller of a finish. Trevor Dyer comes home in the second position. Mark Whitley rounding out your pro division podium here this evening. Christian Angel comes home in fourth. Sean Kaiser in fifth. Peyton Hubbard finishes in the sixth position. Billy Sigmund in seventh. Brandon Wallace in eighth. He had an incident there on that last lap. Lost a lot of positions in the process. Comes home in eighth. Ninth place is going to be Barry Stevens. Ronnie J. Morrison in 10th, and rounding out your field on the pro side is Jacob Ellingson in the 11th position.
The luck continues for Jacob Ellingson. 8 cautions, 13 lead changes here this evening. We have the end results up on your screen. Thaddeus Friel Jr. getting his first victory of the season. The 82 of Dawson Delaney, about 9, almost a full tenth of a second, 900ths of a second there, just behind for second position. J.R. Schomburg will finish third. All the battling he did with the leaders of the pro division. He ends up with a top 3 here in the AM class. Noah Hodar will finish in fourth with Chuck Pegleg Phelps in fifth spot. Good top 5 for the 75. Douglas Macedo, finally, after that win at Daytona, is going to get a top 10. He's going to finish in sixth. David Calvert going to finish in seventh. Up and down day. Bobby Bender in eighth. You have Malgoza finishing ninth, Justin Klein in 10th position. 11th spot's going to go to Hayden Murr. You have Daniel Parks in 12th spot. Dave Calvert Sr. will finish in 13th. Joshua Unger will finish in 14th spot. Joshua Thornton going to finish 15th. Hogheyer with the 03. Controversial restart there. He'll end up back in 16th spot. Kevin Price will finish in 17th. AM class with Ashton Nasario Nolan going to finish in 18th position. Paul Shaw, Nicholas Myers. Then you have Skylar Daly, your points leader coming into tonight, will end up 21st position overall, 33rd. Alan Bergen will finish 22nd. Chris Bargetzi, Brock Price. And then we had Limenthal. I'm not sure what class he was in here tonight. I think he was part of the pro class, but wasn't classified in here tonight. So he didn't really show up on the results, but worth a mention there, as he was in a class of his own on our timing and scoring, but we'll get that fixed for next week. We have a few drivers to talk to here, Daniel, and the first one that we have to bring up into the booth is Jake Ham in the number 85. He did a hell of a send to the inside of 3 and 4. I think it's worth mentioning that.
Yeah, he did indeed. Jake Ham, it's Bradley and Daniel up the booth. You got us?
Got you guys.
Well, man, I mean, you were one of the big talking points of the evening. I'm not going to lie. I think Bradley and I both questioned your pitch strategy with fuel only call there early on in the race. But that's why we're up here in the booth and not holding the steering wheel. So just talk a little bit about how you played out that strategy throughout the race, because you were definitely on your own schedule as far as that goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's my birthday today, so this is a huge accomplishment, Finally back on the podium. Feels great. But tonight the my call was I knew there was going to be quite a bit of cautions, and it actually didn't work out how I was hoping it was going to, and I was just going to hold on to the sets so I could take them at the very end. And then I realized when I was coming in for gas only there and holding on to the sets that the temps and everything were doing pretty good. So I wasn't running as hard as what I probably could have. And so I was like, well, if I come in, I'm just going to take that second time. I took right sides only, and it hung out pretty good. And then I was going to come in with Whitley on that last pit stop, but then I had realized that I just saw a bunch of people behind me not going in, and I'm like, that's going to be enough buffer. I had raced up through the field, so I used quite a bit of my tires there to get back up into second place there, but I'm just like, nope, there's enough people in between us that want to try to win it. It's going to create enough havoc that I think I'm going to be okay, but it was still spicy there at the end.
Absolutely, it was spicy. We had 4 wide behind you. You had the 64 going side by side for the lead with Mark Whitley on the outside. You had 4 fresh tires on both those cars. You kept giving them the inside, knowing you could drive this car off the corner. But let's go back before that caution. Before it fell, you had just finished up your green flag pit stop to run it out to the end. You had taken 2 tires. You had passed the 79 and the 18, and you were on your way. Do you think you could have caught up to Mark Whitley? It was about 6 seconds back.
I don't know. I think I was there at the end. I think I was starting to catch him, but I don't think I would have. I think it would have been probably a solid second finish there without that caution that allowed me to, get back in the place for it all work out there. But because he definitely, I mean, he was coming running up, there. He was on a tear, and I don't know that I would have. But so it all worked out. So I'll just take it how it went.
Really fantastic job. And I do got to ask one more question, because we talked about that send that you had last turn. Did you even surprise yourself a little bit that move stuck?
100%. Yes, I did. So I fully thought, because Trevor on the initial restart, Trevor sent it in super hard on me, and we were kind of riding each other around the corner in turn 1, and then we both lost some speed. I knew Whitley was coming up, so just got swallowed up. And I knew I had to back out of the corner to get a drive out so I could get some draft. And then, sure enough, again, Trevor drove it in pretty hard up against Mark, and I'm just like, holy cow, the seas have parted. I'm taking her in, and it did. It just hooked. And I don't know if it's because it was right sides only, that helped. And I don't know. But either way, when I came out, I fully expected to run into Mark and Trevor coming up, and they weren't even there. They had to have lost so much speed. I don't know what happened there, but it worked out.
Well, definitely worked out in your favor. Congrats on the win, and happy birthday as well. Before we let you go, who you want to thank, any sponsors or shout outs for this one?
Absolutely. We got Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Alexander PCs, and then Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, INVETS, and ATYL. And then obviously, you guys, I love to go back, listen to the broadcast. I appreciate it. You guys are super fun to listen to. And then obviously, friends and family for the birthday wishes, and anybody that watched tonight.
Well, there you have it from the race winner, Jay Cam. Congrats again, and we will be be seeing you at least next week as we head off to New Hampshire.
Sounds good. See you guys.
Now let's go ahead and get a word with, I think, the driver that became the sentimental favorite for myself and Bradley here during the race, because he's got the full Dale getup going on tonight. I'm a big fan of this. Thaddeus Friel Jr., your AM division winner. Man, you had a roller coaster night here this evening. I mean, how were you able to get up there and get that AM win this evening?
I'm going to be honest with you. I do not remember anything about the last 15 seconds of that race. I just closed my eyes and prayed. No, it was fun, like getting up there. For some reason, it always seems like I have to face a little bit of attrition in every one of my races. I just come back better. So that was fun. That I do remember, and I messaged him. I told him I was holding him like a baby, and they didn't door bang me. They just tried to rattle my cage. I can't really rattle my cage, but I'm 34. You either become an Elvis impersonator or Dale Earnhardt impersonator, so I'm becoming the latter. Yeah, absolutely. Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Alexander PCs for sponsoring everybody. The Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs or InVets and the ATYL, as well as everybody at Team Van, Trevor, Barry, Bobby, Thornton, Hudson. Everybody did a terrific job tonight. We're a very tight knit team. I'd also like to give a shout out to my kids, Dyson Isley and Fortier. My girl Valerie, because she lets me come on here and pretend to be Dale Earnhardt and play video games all the time. And my dad's watching, so love you, Dad. Love you, kids. Love you, Val. Just everybody's been great. I love Goat Locker. Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
So there you have it, your M class winner in the 08. And there's another great shot at the 4 wide across the line. That was a fantastic race. And even, we had a variety of everything. We had kind of that caution plague start. Then we got into a long green flag run, the late race restart, and then what I would classify as what didn't work in the entirety of the first half of this race. They pulled it off there in that white flag.
Yeah, they really did. And just that image right there just shows how chaotic and how crazy it was at the end of this race. We do have our East Series drivers standing by for interviews as well. So we'll go ahead and grab a quick word with them, starting with the Pro Division winner on the East side, Zachary Tyler. This is Bradley and Daniel up the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Well, congrats on the win over on the pro side. I'm just going to ask this because I don't have the slightest idea. How were you able to get up there and get the win on the pro side here for the East race tonight?
Yeah, we had a very good fuel mileage race. So we actually made it, I think we put on lap 45 at 80 and then was able to milk it all the way to the end. And, everyone else had a pit and was able to save enough gas to come across at the line at 0.2 left.
A lot of fuel strategy, and I'm sorry that I'm a little bit out of my element here, Zachary, because there was no fuel strategy in this race tonight. I don't even think there was a strategy. It was press the pedal that goes loud, and that's what they did on the white flag. So for your race, you guys a little bit more relaxed, but more relaxed in the element of you're not racing a side by side. Towards the end of that, you're more concerned with the numbers game, right? And so how difficult is that? That's a different kind of stress when you're thinking, I got to do math and drive the car.
Yeah, absolutely. When we went back green after we had a bunch of cautions in the beginning and then we went back green with about 47 to go. I was getting about 33, 35 laps, per tank. At least was what my overlay was saying that I could get. So when it was about 15 or 16 to go, some of the leaders who all everyone stayed out were not saying that they're going to pit. I'm like, well, we haven't had a green flag stint this long before, but it'd be great, ideally if it could go this long staying green, but I had no idea or any belief that it would. I thought for sure it'd be caution. So I'm looking in my mirror, seeing guys wiggle and swerve and stuff and hitting each other. I'm like, just keep it straight. Don't throw any cautions. And luckily it all played out perfectly. So I'm like, backed off a little bit to give an extra lap just in case anything would happen, because my math was wrong. Because, like it's always tricky the last lap. But luckily, I was able to save just enough. And again, and sacrifice the overall win, which the AM drivers will say forever that they beat us in this race. But I was happy to get the pro win.
Daniel's brought that up a few times. That
Yeah.
tonight was going to be the night, so that makes sense.
Yeah, he did a great job saving, and he started pulling away from me. I'm like, you know what, you can have the overall win. I'm just making sure that I got my part. I would be happy with the P2. I was more than thrilled with that.
Well, congrats on the run over there on the east side tonight and the pro division win. Before we let you go, who you want to thank, any sponsors or shout outs?
I just want to thank my wife, for constantly letting me do this by watching our 1-year-old toddler, my daughter. So thanks to her, to give me the opportunity to do this and always supporting me. And, you guys obviously for putting on a great show, like always. And look forward to the next one.
Well, there you have it from Zachary Tyler. We will catch you next week at New Hampshire.
Sounds good. See you guys later.
Now, the man that made a little bit of history here this evening, Charles Abert. He may be the AM division winner, but also for the first time in Goat Locker history since we went to this Pro-Am split, the AM series or the AM division winner is also your overall race winner. Charles Abert, how does it feel to make history here in Goat Locker tonight?
It's awesome. Didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know that. But I do appreciate it. It was a great race. Took a couple weeks off to help race control get established a little bit better, and came back and wow.
So I think going up there in race control and seeing how certain drivers maybe handle certain situations, does that give you a different perspective coming out here tonight saying, okay, I know this guy might do this. I know how this guy's going to handle me when we're side by side. Does that kind of change your mentality when you come in to live action again?
I guess, yeah, it does. And running with some of these people last year, kind of know. But there's several of us that had done some practice, and we did a couple of fuel mileage runs just to see how long, how many laps we could get, and who'd have thunk it that it would have come down to that. So when that last caution came out, I went in and pit, and I'm like, man, that's going to put me like right on the money. And sure enough, I sputtered right as we crossed the finish line. So.
Well, man, great job. I know that you've got to be ecstatic about this, getting an overall race win. Really cool to see you get one. It's especially somebody that does as much for the league as you do and all the work that you put into it. It's always cool to see you guys get wins like that, and just means a little bit more in that aspect, at least from where I sit. It's really cool to see that. So congrats on the win. Before we let you go tonight, Charles, who you want to thank, any sponsors or shout outs?
Oh yeah. Let me give a shout out to Lincoln Tech, Save 22, and our title sponsor, Alexander PCs. Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, also InVets, and LTLY Media. Taylor over there doing awesome things. And shout out to my wife who supports me every day. And my family and the great broadcasting team that we do have, and shout out to Race Control and all the racing buddies, and Save 22, the team I have joined recently. So,
right. Well, there you have it from the East Side overall race winner, Charles Aber. Congrats again, and we will see you next week at New Hampshire.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, Bradley, that's going to do it for our post-race coverage. I mean, I know we didn't get to see the East Series race, but it sounds like it was kind of similar to what we saw over here. Cautions at the beginning.
Just that last caution didn't come out.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Yeah, really the only difference. We saw the different pitch strategies. It was really a tale of two races between the first half and the second half. A little bit of calamity, a lot of side-by-side racing. and a lot of drama on both sides just for different reasons. One, fuel mileage, and one, 3 or 4 wide for the lead. So really great racing that we saw overall here this evening. And then next week, we're going to be heading off to New Hampshire. That's one that I'm really intrigued by. It's a track that doesn't pop up as much on the Goat Locker schedules. So a little bit of a different flavor next week, we'll call it, as we head to the Magic Mile up there in New Hampshire. And we'll be right back here on V-Speed to bring you all the action for the Alexander PC ARCA Series. But that is going to do it for our coverage tonight. As you can see there, head to New Hampshire next week, and it's going to be a really good race as we head up there. That's going to do it for everything tonight. So on behalf of Patrick Drabick, Jamie Barkis, and everyone at Goat Locker Racing, also on behalf of everybody at V-Speed, Adam Baker, you, Bradley, Morgan Cook, Eddie Smith, appreciate all that you all do to keep things running here at V-Speed. And also thank you to Dougie Beard, as always, for those camera angles that we have here every single week. My name's Daniel Cunningham, saying thank you again for tuning in, spending your Monday night with us. And we will see you next week at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
I hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
Here we got the restarts up we go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.